So I'd like to thank everybody for coming. It's a humbling experience, like he said, to be in front of you guys. And unfortunately, I can one-up him in the fact that I used to work on Lisa Murkowski's campaign for the primary. Now, when I first started working for Murkowski, it was a loyalty that I felt. I hadn't heard of this Joe Miller guy. How dare he come into our state and try to, be extreme, as our campaign would say. But as I got to listening to what he had to say, in doing research on him, there wasn't a lot of stuff I could find that I disagreed with. And it started to change my opinion. And as I got further into the campaign, I raised questions. The proposition that Bernadette worked so hard to pass, I said, what are we doing for that? Their response was, abortion's only pulling 10%. We're not going to look at it. It was things like that started to make me more aware. And then as I worked, countless hours with other Murkowski people who spent up to 70 hours a week, we worked very hard to get her in. We worked very hard to make her the conservative choice for the race. Countless times we had to fend off claims by the Miller campaign that Lisa had been governing from the left, only to see her running ads now that she's proud of the liberal agenda we worked so very hard to defend. No longer is she the conservative candidate. No longer would she be the Lisa who cares about the values we conservatives hold dear. Those same values that we Alaskans as Americans hold so dear. Instead, Lisa would associate herself with the leftist organizations, the liberal organizations, unions, native corporations, leftist politicians. A platform that is anything but Republican.
That's right.
She is selling a mirage, an idea that we can continue this unsustainable spending, that we can allow our freedoms to be eroded by a government. She believes that they can solve our problems and continue to fold in the name of what's good for Alaska. Now, I'll be honest, the night of the primary was a tough one for us, watching as the votes came in and seeing our hard work slowly slip away from us. But we all knew going in that there could only be one winner. And when Lisa launched her write-in campaign, I was curious to see how she would approach it, how she would handle it. To my disappointment, I saw a new Lisa emerge. A new Lisa that discarded all of the hard work that her staff had done in the primary. We saw her quickly go to the left. We saw her abandon the Republican Party. And in turn, we saw her attacking people that would, heaven forbid, support the Republican candidate. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to stand here today with all of you in support of Joe Miller. And on Election Day, I will join all of you in sending that man to Washington, D.C.